Good morning, everyone. Well, with the cold front finishing up and working over us this morning, the best chance of rain is going to be during the morning hours in Nebraska. That said, the front is going to be stalling out awfully close to us, so the rain chance is going to try and linger not just for today, but into tomorrow as well for some in the state. Let's start 8 a.m. this morning and do have to keep the chance of rain in there across the southern half of the state, just about anywhere, though I will say the best chance of rain in the south central part of the state. So the most likely place that's going to see rain for the morning commute, Kearney, Grand Island, mostly showers, still a couple of storms around, but no severe storms to be found. 11 a.m. In general, less activity. At this point, we're just talking about isolated showers. It does look like the activity in the central part of the state may try and slide a little bit to the east, so the rain chance going up a little bit for places like Lincoln and Omaha, but notice significant gaps. We are just talking about isolated activity during the late morning hours. And by early afternoon, we're just talking about a stray shower or two across the southern half of the state. Notice northern half of the state completely dry, but that front, though clear of us now, stalling out, so trying to keep that rain chance going for the most southern part of the state. So I've got to keep a chance in there for Beatrice, McCook, and maybe over in the Panhandle as well, because it looks like the front actually stalling out closest to the Panhandle. It's going to keep moving just a little bit more south in the eastern part of the state. So the rain chance will eventually go away in the eastern part of the state, but it's going to continue in the western part of the state. Notice how as we get in the late afternoon, there's a little bit of redevelopment in the western part of the state, but not in the eastern part of the state. Maybe still a stray shower or two around the Beatrice area. But by the time we get into the early evening hours, we are done with the rain chance in the eastern half of the state, but notice still some isolated showers and storms in the western half of the state. Unlike yesterday, not concerned about any severe storms today. Yes, possibility of thunderstorms, but no damaging wind, no hail, just some heavy rain and lightning in spots. So I've got to keep a chance in there in the western half of the state for a stray shower or two for the rest of the evening through the overnight hours. Let's jump ahead, though, to tomorrow morning. Here we are at 7 a.m. and a couple of showers, most of us dry. So the rain chance tomorrow is for central and western Nebraska. If you are east of Grand Island, I don't think there is any chance of rain. Notice how the green dots, as we get to the late morning, try and show up around the Kearney, Grand Island area. Not a guarantee that you're going to see rain in Kearney or Grand Island, but I have to keep the chance in for you. But anywhere east of Grand Island looks like it is going to stay completely dry. Here we are in the early afternoon, and we still are just talking about stray showers at this point. The activity is going to try and get going again as we get into the late afternoon in the western half of the state, but we're still talking about just isolated showers and storms, and once again, not worried about any severe storms. So a peak in the activity in the late afternoon, but still seeing significant gaps in the western half of the state. And by the time we get to 7 o'clock Friday evening, we're probably talking about the isolated activity being limited just to the Panhandle. I think everyone else is looking good for Friday evening plans. Now let's get to the best part of this forecast, which are our temperatures. Feeling really good. And we actually get to talk about below normal temperatures. So what's normal for this time of year? Mainly upper 80s in the eastern part of the state, getting into the low 90s as you get into the Panhandle, and everywhere below normal. We're talking about high temperatures no warmer than the mid 80s. A lot of us just topping out in the low 80s, and maybe even a few spots only in the upper 70s for highs. Not going to be much wind around today. We'll just call it a light breeze with gusts getting up to about 15 miles per hour in most locations. And below normal temperatures tonight, especially in eastern Nebraska. Normal for this time of year is upper 60s. Instead, we're going to mainly be in the upper 50s in eastern Nebraska. And even in the Panhandle, below normal, low 60s is normal, instead upper 50s. So lots of 50s showing up across the state. Maybe as warm as the low 60s in a couple spots, but no warmer than that. Now, tomorrow looks a little bit warmer than today, but not bad. Still below normal. We'll just add a degree or two from the temperatures that we're seeing today. So a few more spots getting into the mid 80s, not seeing the upper 70s anymore, but some good to hold on to the low 80s. And in general, looking like a little bit less wind than today. And enjoy these below normal temperatures, because from here on out, especially by the time we get into the middle part of next week, it is only going to be getting hotter.